I'd like to call the meeting to order. I'd like to welcome everybody to the April 25th, 2017 Laverne Planning Commission at 6 p.m. We do have a quorum. Our first item of business is to approve the meeting minutes from March 28th, 2017 regular meeting.
Make a motion to accept as submitted.
We have a motion to accept as submitted. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Minutes pass. First item of business, site plan request by APC Towers, proposed 140-foot monopole cellular tower on 36 acres, property located at 477 Hollandale Road, tax map 006, parcel 33, A Agricultural Zoning District, property owned by Edward Drennan. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If you recall, at the workshop, the beacon was added as we had requested of the applicant, so we have no technical items to address.
Very good. Any questions or comments from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I might appreciate the applicant working with us on that, and with that, I'll make a motion to accept as submitted.
We have a motion to accept. We have a second.
I'll
Second.
second it.
2 seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? That passes. Our next item of business, site plan, Lot 3 of LaSalle Industrial Park, requested by Chad Ritter. Proposed 4,000 square foot warehouse on 0.3 acres, property located at 103 LaSalle Court, tax map 014J, Group D, Parcel 3, I-1 Light Industrial Zoning District, property owned by Chad Ritter. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since the workshop, the ADA parking space has been added. There's also been a note added that there should be no encroachment or encumbrances to that space or loading zone, and that's in relation to the grinder tank problem that we had previously. They've also added the sidewalk fee in lieu note and removed the sidewalk from the site plan, so there are no technical items to address.
Very good.
Mr. Chairman, with all technical items being addressed, make a motion to accept as submitted.
We have a motion to accept as submitted. We have a second.
Second.
2 seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. The next item, site plan, Lot 6 of the LaSalle Industrial Park, requested by Chad Ritter. Proposed 4,000 square foot warehouse building on 0.39 acres, property located at 109 LaSalle Court, tax map 014J, Group D, Parcel 6, I-1 Light Industrial Zoning District, property owned by Chad Ritter. Ms. Costanza.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. We had the same technical items for this item as the previous one, and like the previous item, all of the issues pertaining to the sidewalk, the fee in lieu, and the ADA parking space have been taken care of, so there are no technical items to address.
Very good.
All technical items being addressed, Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to accept as submitted.
We have a motion to accept as submitted. We have a second.
Second.
2 seconds. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. Recommendation of the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, rezoning of property requested by Robert Stroop, 1.4 acres. Property located at 113 Charter Place, tax map 029, parcel 2.08, current zoning district. C2 Highway Service Commercial, proposed zoning district. I2 Heavy Industrial, property owned by Robert Stroop. Ms. Costanza. That was a little confusing, Ms. Costanza. Could you,
What was confusing, sir?
after current zoning district, could you just explain what we're actually doing? Because the wording sounds confusing.
The current zoning district is C2 Highway Service Commercial. The proposed zoning district is I2 Heavy Industrial. And this request came in on behalf of Ditch Witch from the property owner, Mr. Robert Stroop. He had leased the property, which is vacant, to Ditch Witch, which owns, or they actually lease a property further down on Charter Place. They have run out of room for their heavy equipment, and they had leased this property from Mr. Stroop. They went ahead and put the fence around the property, put signage up, placed the equipment on it, and then they were informed that that use really does not fit into the C2 zone. So Mr. Stroop went ahead and put in the application to rezone to I2 on their behalf. I believe he has a 2-year lease with them. So there were no technical items to address previously. However, in the interim, I received a letter, which I have, which is behind your report, from Mr. Romano of Ditch Witch, and he states in here that he believes that they would actually fall under use 3 or use 18 in the C2 Highway Service District. I do have the C2 zoning district description with the uses permitted in your packet as well. Number 3, which he mentioned, was building materials and farm equipment sales, provided there's no outdoor storage with the exception of retail nurseries and farm equipment vehicles. And then number 18, which is automobile sales, rental, and delivery, excluding aircraft dealers, boat dealers, recreational and utility trailer dealers. And then as a side note, I have highlighted the uses prohibited in C2, which is industrial uses. So, I'm getting the sense that they are wanting to maybe come forward next month under the C2 provision, perhaps, as opposed to getting it rezoned to I2, but the letter doesn't state that specifically, so I just think that I think they didn't get much of a positive feedback from the workshop in regards to it being rezoned to I2, since it is in a heavily commercial, area. It's in the overlay district. The city's wanting that parcel to be used for retail, et cetera. So,
Yeah, thank you very much, ma'am. Is someone here from Ditch Witch or Mr. Stroop today? Did they make it in? No? Do you have any questions or comments from the board?
I've got a question. So, okay, according to the letter, he's saying that they fall under 3 or 18?
yes,
And the 3 or 18 you got here in front of us now?
that's correct, sir.
Where does he fall under that?
I don't believe he does, personally.
Okay, that's good. I just want to make sure I was reading it correctly, because I don't see where that has anything to do with.
If you recall at the workshop, the representative who was here did state that she felt that they fell under retail sales. And I recall stating that I agreed that they do engage in retail sales, but the C2 district really differentiates between industrial equipment, it specifically states no industrial uses. So, I personally think it doesn't fit into C2.
I mean, I could see where they might think that, but like you said, it's that industrial that falls in, because you can sell regular strength detergent and you can sell industrial detergent, and they're just two different things. And I think they're looking at that from a standpoint, I'm not here trying to guess for them, but I don't see industrial in 3 or 18. I don't see it for that allowance. So, to get this correct, what are their intentions? They're possibly going to withdraw their request to go industrial, or they're going to continue to?
I believe that they felt that they probably would not get a favorable recommendation for I2. And I remember Commissioner Coates had mentioned to Ms. Graff to look at the C2 uses, because, and she did, but I think it was a little bit of a stretch, personally, to state in the letter that they fall into the C2 category. I think that the uses are just too far apart.
Yeah.
But with them not being here this evening, they were here for the workshop. They have not anything written to withdraw it. We have to vote on it.
I agree.
And with that, I'm going to make a motion to save an unfavourable recommendation to Mayor and Alderman on the rezoning request.
I have a motion.
If you just provide the reasons for it, just so since they're not here and they can be in
Not
the
shown
minutes.
it, but the zoning is, there's no other industrial close to it, number one. Number two, it's on a retail strip area, and 3, also, it's in the overlay district.
I have a motion to send a unfavorable recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We will be sending an unfavorable recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen in regards to that property. Next item of business. Recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen rezoning of property requested by Luke Williams, Construction Design Management LLC, 2.84 acres, property located directly behind 5095 Murfreesboro Road and known as Tax Map 015, Parcel 2.13, current zoning district C4, shopping center commercial, proposed zoning district C2, highway service commercial zoning district, property owned by Mark Pirtle. Ms. Costanzo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is the rezoning request from Mr. Williams. We did discuss it at the workshop. It's in relation to the proposed mini storage operation that has been proposed for that parcel, and there were no technical items to address. They had submitted everything, and the rezoning sign's now been on the property for about a month, and I've not received a single inquiry about it.
Any questions or comments from the board?
One question for staff. The property owner is Mark Pirtle. Did he sign the request, or did the leasee sign the request?
They both signed the request since Mr. Pirtle had to sign it since he's the property owner.
Okay.
He did sign it, yes.
Any other questions or comments? We'll entertain a motion. No motion on the table. Would we like to discuss this for a few more minutes? Alexis?
I would like to discuss it, yeah. I mean, obviously we asked the ownership to do this, but the location of where it's at, I mean, it's just knowing what they're going to put there, I think for me is an issue, what's going to be placed there as far as storage. I understand that he owns it, he can have a request with it, but I have an issue with what he's trying to do in that area.
Very good. Any other questions or comments? Happy to entertain a motion in regards to this property.
Make a motion to send an unfavorable recommendation to Mayor and Alderman.
I have a motion to send an unfavorable recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Alderman. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye?
Aye.
All opposed? No.
No.
Could we do a roll call, please?
Aye?
Jim?
Aye.
No.
No.
The ayes have it. We'll be sending an unfavorable recommendation to the Board of Mayor and Alderman in regard to this parcel. Our next item of business, request to set bond amount for public improvements for Phase 2 of the Ridge subdivision requested by Mitchell Bowman. 32 lots on 15.76 acres, property located along Dobson Knob Trail and Jade Creek Hollow, tax map 032, parcel 2 and 2.03, R1 low density residential zoning district, property owned by B&F Venture Holdings. Ms. Costanzo.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At the workshop, we reviewed 3 different bids. They were missing some signatures, and since the workshop, we have had a new bid submitted by 4 Star Paving, and that replaced the bid from Hoover. So we now have, you've got 3 bids, all of which are signed, and with the new bid by 4 Star, which was significantly less than what Hoover had provided, the average bid ended up coming in at $51,700, plus the as-built erosion control and water sewer maintenance measures, plus the 20% contingency. It came in at a rounded total of $81,850.
So my question to staff is that do we consider that the $81,850 is sufficient for this project?
Yes.
Yes.
Would that, Mr. Chair, make a motion to agree to set the bond amount at $81,850?
I have a motion to set the bond amount at $81,850. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye?
All opposed? We'll be accepting that bond amount. Last item on the agenda, bonds and letters of credit.
All letters of credit are up to date, and the 2 letters that are set to expire, I think within the next month, the banks and developers have been notified.
Very good. Any other questions or comments from the board? Meeting adjourned. The meeting's adjourned, sir.